I think I got it right, y'all, this time. Good evening. This is Miss Shirley, the OG gardener in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Woo! Zone, what am I? 6B. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate you coming in and checking me out and show me that you like me just a little bit. That's right. And hit that notification button so that you will be notified of any videos I might upload. Like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Hello, Blue Lotus. Thank you, sweetie. Seeing you earlier today. My Renaissance grandma. Hey, hey, hey. Country Hustle 101. Hey, thank you for coming in. Wanda Carr. You know what? I got these little advertisements popping up on my screen. Stop it. Hey, Wanda Carr Jones. Thank you for coming in this evening. So you guys found me and I was able to get in here. My girl Dolores had to walk me through some other stuff again, and I think we got it right this time. I got to get used to Restream. See, StreamYard was easy. I could put my information in and set it and walk away. Can't do that with Restream. Restream had a little more technical things for me to learn. So hopefully I got them straight now, and I shouldn't have any more problems with so here today. Uh-oh. Let me put this notification. I forgot about that. I do that every now and then. Okay. And it was cold. I still have my jacket on because I still got a slight chill because I was out trying to do some last little cleanup in the garden. I was cleaning up all those sweet potato vines after doing my harvest. And I pulled up all my tomato plants and threw them in a compost pile. I still got some pepper plants out there and they still loaded. And even some of them got blossoms on it. But it's chilly out there. So I don't know if these peppers don't mind this cool weather or not. But I got to get some help with my Meanwhile Kumquat. The leaves are starting to change colors. Now it's like, nah, they don't like this cool weather. So I'm going to definitely get that in tomorrow because it's supposed to drop some more and rain. Hey, Bammit, what's up? How's my brother doing? I'm glad to see you. Psalms 146. Are you in the kitchen cooking dinner, sweetie? I know you be burning up some stuff in that kitchen. And I don't mean burnt. I mean you be cooking. Yes, indeedy. Everybody saying hello to one another. Greatly appreciate you guys coming in. Please hit that like button. Show me that you like me. Just a little bit will be greatly appreciated. I know I've been watching a lot of videos for the last couple of weeks of people not only cleaning out their gardens, but also checking out their brassicas and stuff for the fall. See, I would have to start my brassicas like in July or August in order for them to be a good size now and harvested. By the time they started this challenge, our weather here is not conducive to how big our brassicas can get for the challenge. So they're gonna have to change the dates on that for us northerners. Not everywhere, but where we get cool weather earlier than other states. Hey, Ted, the educated natural. I felt so honored yesterday when you opened up my care package I sent you. uh, I was getting ready for my Bible study meeting when you came on, and Dolores, she was sweet enough to text me and say, Tian's opening up your gift. And I'm like, what? So that's when I jumped in the live right quick. And I was still getting dressed to go to my Bible study. So it was nice. Sam says, yes, ma'am, making some chicken soup with lots of veggies because my husband is under the weather. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he feels better after you get all those nutrients in his system to help fight whatever he got going. Yes, indeedy. Yeah. Uh, and Blue Lotus, I'm gonna have to do a replay on what you was doing today. Some of it I understood, but I would like to get into it a little bit more myself about almost like making my own web page. I've already have an image that TLC helped me put together, including my cat. And I do. I would like to have a really nice intro into some of my videos and even my live, So working on that. Everybody saying hello to one another. Yeah, Lord willing, yeah. Gotta just take one day at a time. This is the flu and cold season and all that other stuff that out here floating around because of the constant temperatures going up and down. Like last week, we had 2 days. This was one was 74, one was 72, and one was 75 degrees. And then a couple of days later, it dropped down to the high of 50 and the low like 39. Well, it's only 51 degrees here. And I think it wasn't even that warm today. And the wind was a little high. So, when the wind gets to blowing, that's another chill factor. So that's why I started getting all my stuff right back at you, 10. And that's why I'm trying to get my stuff in. I already got my Meyer lemons in the basement under the plant lights, and they're blooming like nobody's business because it's warmer in the basement. Because here we got our, I mean, the nights get look more than just cool. Yeah, you want to come into a warm house. Yeah, you almost have to put your glove. We got so many wonderful people in here who are willing to help you out. They don't care, if you're high profile, low profile. Yeah, what Mike says, 30 degrees there. Ooh, well, you're in Minnesota though, aren't you, Mike? Shoot, it's between you and GT. Y'all have some serious cold swings. Hey, Dolores, you made it over. Hey, how are you, hon? I was seeing you over there in Blue Lotus earlier. I figured that you probably was helping somebody out somewhere, and it worked. D, I got in here. I paid attention to what was coming up on the screen. I didn't touch any extra buttons. I wanted to, and I was like, no. You start freaking out when you start hitting buttons and you can't get back to where you start. Do what D told you, and you'll be all right. And you see, I made it. But I did come in here and the minutes ran, the countdown ran twice. That kind of freaked me out. And I was like, okay. After it finished counting down the second time, then everything kicked in. And I sat back and I said, oh, okay, cool. Bama said it was 80 today. Last week it was in the 30s and 40s. Yeah. And this is why I said we really have the flu and cold season now because the temps keep going up and down. One minute you see people out there. Now, this is the thing that kills me. I see people in shorts and flip flops, but you got a jacket on. So it's cool enough for you to put a jacket on, but you got shorts and flip flops on. And y'all know what I mean. All right, everybody saying hello to everybody. Good people here. Everyone helps each other. Yeah, yeah. It's wonderful. Mike says it's 60 now, 30 overnight. Yeah, it's down to 51. It might get down to 30 overnight. Thank you, Dolores. Oh, money in the chat? Oh, what's up, Nikki? Money in the chat, money in the chat. Hey, oh, hey, oh, money in the chat. Woo, woo. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. Miss J.K. Gardner, how are you? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do. Yeah, so um, we have what they say a plethora of people in our community who unselfishly don't mind reaching out to you if you need help, you know. And when you got those little extra coins, it's nice to show them your appreciation of them taking time out of their day to sit with you and go step by step to help you get where you need to be. Now, if even if you've been on your job for 100 years and you ask somebody for some help, they look at you like, you've been here long enough, don't you know how to do that? I've never done that particular thing, so I'm asking for help, and then you're going to shoot me down, and it makes you want to go and just do it on your own. Oh, some gardening in the backyard. Yeah, I am. And so today I went out and checked my green stock because I got that frost cover from them, and everything up there was happy and hunky dory. I checked for that cabbage worm because they had laid some eggs, some worms. Well, that white moth, well, it's not a butterfly, had laid some worms in there, and I cleaned them up, and stuff was starting to look happy up in there. Uh-oh, did I freeze? Okay, I froze for a minute. All right. And things look happy up underneath there. So it's a little warmer than usual up under that frost cover. So hopefully some of that stuff might grow big enough for me to eat. I've eaten some of the mustard greens already, but I really like to see the other stuff. And I stuck garlic down in certain ones, and the garlic is about this big already inside of it. So hopefully I'll have some nice garlic next year to pull out of those. I'm excited because I got my green stock late in the season, so I really didn't get a chance to grow things and put stuff in there like I wanted to. So next year, I'm kind of excited on what I want to grow because I've been watching You Grow Row and a few and Be Better and a few other folks who really have green stocks and do a lot of device unexpectedly start. Oh yeah, okay. I turned off my TV and I moved my phone away from my computer so that my device wouldn't mess with buffering or whatever. But I keep getting this little stupid message. Gotta run, six. Much love. Go ahead, Bammy. You always building stuff and you need your rest, so I understand. But thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you later on this week in these used two streets. It's not just tonight. Lost sound. Is the sound back? I keep getting these little silly messages popping up. Okay. All right. For the ones who are here in the chat, can you tell me about how did your sweet potato harvests grow? Okay. I've seen a handful, but I know there's more than just a handful of folks in our community that has sweet potatoes, and in the wake of getting ready to harvest, or they have harvested and haven't released a video on them yet. I was a little disappointed when I was doing mine because I thought that I was going to get a neighbor to help me dump mine over to see if there was any in the way bottom, because I was surprised on how far from the top that those sweet potatoes had gone down into that garbage can. I was like, wow. So it still might be some in the bottom. I tilted it back up, and then tomorrow I'm gonna try to get that soil back in because it might rain, and I don't want it to wash all over everywhere. Your computer has a problem, but we will fix it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, because it's these little messages keep flashing in, and the screen. My normal screen seems smaller too. Normally looks bigger than this. I feel like I'm in a box. Kind of crazy. But that's all right. I'm on, and I appreciate that. So, how many people that's in the chat right now have sweet potatoes that they have not harvested yet, or have harvested and hasn't released a video? Willers, we are very healthy, and I use everything to make fries. For all the smaller ones I have, I'm going to make what we call a sweet potato mash, where I will peel them and boil them and then smash them up with some brown sugar, some real homemade churned butter, a little bit of orange juice, and a dash of honey. And I mix that all up, and it's just like making mashed potatoes, but it's a really delicious side dish because I want to cook some cabbage and cornbread, and I think maybe fry some pork chops, and that's what I want to have for dinner tomorrow. Yeah, for the bigger ones, I'm letting them sit and cure for the next 14 days. So as they cure, it builds up the sugar in the potato in itself. So by the time I'm ready to eat it, it's nice and sweet. Yeah, I love to eat my sweet potatoes as a side dish with my meals. And then sometimes I've done what they call a stuffed potato. Like some people take white potatoes and stuff them with cheese and sour cream and all that other good stuff. I do the same thing with the sweet potato. I love sweet potatoes that much. Yeah, it's so gross again. Yep. There's a glitch in the matrix, y'all. Dee says she'll help me fix that. Oh, I have biggest ones, not the smaller ones. Okay. I hope to have a better crop next year. Yeah. Yeah, Nikki. It's the kind of dinner that make you want to take your shoes off and wiggle your toes and maybe hum a little bit while you're eating because it's so good. Oh, so blessed. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. So when I had sweet potatoes that I grew last year, the skins was paper thin. So they weren't tough and they were sweet and you could eat the whole sweet potato. I just give them a good scrub, and then rub them all over with some olive oil and put a little slit in it. And sometimes I'll take a little plug out and sit butter inside so it can kind of permeate in the potato while it's cooking. Yeah, and then take it out and add all the extra stuff. I'll combine some brown sugar with some orange juice or whatever, and then pour it in there for a minute and just let it saturate through the whole sweet potato. It's good. Believe me, try it. It's delicious. um, oh, Joshua said you got to run. Okay, sweetheart. And you be careful out there catching that bus out there, okay? I know you know your way around, but still be careful. And you have a good evening. Thank you for stopping by. And please make sure you hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. And show me that you like me just a little bit. I like pork chops and homemade warm apples. Yeah, I've done that too. Have you ever roasted your apples, Nikki? Cut the bottom off so it'll sit flat and then take the top off and carve out the middle and then put some butter and brown sugar in that. And you might, rub it on the outside with a little butter so the skin can get crisp and just let it bake. You can put some foil over it and let it bake. And maybe like the last 5 or 10 minutes, take the foil off so the top will get crispy. Oh, and then put some more butter on top. Girlfriend, them roasted apples ain't no joke. With pork chops, it's just like eating better than eating it with applesauce. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, Shirley. All right. Yeah, be careful out there. So yeah, it's been days where you get a taste for something, but you don't want it the same old way. So then you kind of stretch out and say, what if I add this? And then sometimes I might add nutmeg, and sometimes I might add cinnamon. Sometimes I might add both. It'd be almost like having a sweet potato pie just baked into the sweet potato itself. Okay. The chat just jumped. I missed that altogether. Mm, a lot. Thank you. I need R. Okay, Wanda, I'm missing that last one. You need rest or you need to. Oh, there's no recipe. Just get in the kitchen and, dash of this and a dash of that. Taste it, see if it works with your taste buds and go from there. Hey, good evening, Kay Renee. How are you? Yeah, it is good. Yeah, and the chat just took off again. Kay Renee, what was I going to say to you? I be watching your shorts. I like watching you exercise, you and Jay Jordan. Yeah, to come eat at your house. Honey, I've had many. I put it like this: when I cook, if I invite you over for dinner, I've only had two occasions where somebody turned me down. One, they got sick, and the second one, they had a death in the family. But other than that, everybody comes. I like to cook. Um, My specialty and my most request is Cornish hens because I get them just right where they're not dry, and how I butter them up on the outside and underneath, and I put chunks of bell pepper, onions, parsley, garlic, and every now and then I might throw in bell peppers and carrots and stuff it and slow roast them until the skin comes nice and crisp. And I sprinkle, listen to this, a little bit of brown sugar on top of it. Make you want to smack somebody. And I'll make those with fresh string beans with white potatoes in it. Yeah. And sweet potato mash. And some people get mad if I make something different. Every now and then I like to cook a roast with everything to it. Yeah, and I put sweet potatoes in my roast too, decorated around it along with the carrots and celery and onions and stuff. It's good like that too. There's so many ways you can make do sweet potatoes. You can make sweet potato soup, puree with it with some rich cream. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's just like making butternut squash, which I know Mike is famous for. Yeah, Cornish hens is the bomb. Hey, Deborah Garrett, how are you, sweetie? Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, I do. I love my butter. Yeah, I do. Butter, 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 butter. And I don't use store-bought butter. I go to the farmer's market and I buy by the tub, freshly churned butter. And it's rich and it doesn't have 99 different ingredients in it, stuff you can't pronounce. Doesn't mess with my stomach. It's not greasy. It's not oily. Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, Shantae, what's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you for stopping in. That's all right, honey. I see you in the bushes. I ain't mad at you. Glad you could dip in for just a moment. I appreciate that. Yeah, CC. You know what, CC, I get jealous with you. Every time you go out in the garden and you start cutting them greens back, oh, the mustards and all the other. Woo, my chat just jumped again. I think I saw Grandma Lynn. Hello, hon. Now that's my girl right there. She a foodie like me, boy. You can sit and eat all day long. Like to cook and then sit down and enjoy your own cooking. Oh, it's just something about that that just warms your soul. Let me tell you how much I used to cook. When my grandkids was coming up, they're all grown now. When I was like, what do you want for dinner? They like, let's go to the supermarket so they can pick out what they want for dinner. They didn't say McDonald's. They didn't say Burger King. They didn't say pizza. They just like, Graham, let's go to the supermarket and get stuff to cook. You know why? Because I had my girls in the kitchen cooking with me. My granddaughter and I, we were sitting drinking some red wine, no, white wine one night. And I was making shrimp Alfredo. We was pouring a little wine in the noodles, pouring a little wine in the shrimp. That was the best shrimp Alfredo we ever had. Oh, okay, Dolores. Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate that. Hey, Nettis Nest. I love when I watch you and you say, hello, Nesties. I hope you got your green stock all together with them nematodes because I know that had to be a hot mess. Yes. So, yeah, so I do like to cook. I like to try new recipes. And I was really excited and just happy to know that the food that we get from our garden, how that we can take original recipes that we use when we buy food from the supermarkets, and you can taste the difference. You can not only taste the difference, the texture is different. Like when I cooked greens one year, them greens cooked down so quick and they were so sweet and tender, I almost just stood there and ate the whole pot. I had to realize that was supposed to last for 2 days. Hey, Gwen, growing what I eat. Thank you. Hey, ho, hey, ho. Ooh, 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 ooh. Got money in the chat, money in the chat. Ooh, money in the chat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you, Gwee. I appreciate you. Hey, I understand, sweetie. Sometimes you have to be in the bushes. Would you say all this food talk? I gotta fix me something to eat. Um, See, I grew up in the era where you didn't go to the store for everything you needed. All right, grandma cooked everything from scratch. You wanted a pie or a cake, you pulled out the flour and the water and and the milk, and you made your dough, and you made your dough. Wait, what was that? Oh, you made your dough, and then you go downstairs and you get a jar of canned preserves and come up and yeah. Tea, she's so crafty. Well, welcome, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you in my chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all give us a welcome for Tea. She's so crafty. Um, can you let us know where you live at, what state, and if you're a gardener, what grow zone? We would greatly appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, growing what I eat. Mike said I'm eating greens over rice. Yeah, that's good too. Yeah. I have to have cabbage at least once a week. Got to. It's just something about cabbage that just warms my soul. And then I have to have cornbread. I can't eat greens, whether it's cabbage or mustard turnips and string beans without cornbread. It just don't how they say it's almost un-American not to have cornbread with your brassicas and your string beans. It just ain't right. And I gotta have pickled beets. Now I know a lot of people don't like beets. I love beets, especially if they pickle. Pickled beets, I can eat them. I can sit there with a fork and just eat them out the jar. Yeah, I got a thing about beets. Everybody saying hello to T and welcome in. We appreciate you popping in this evening. Make sure y'all hit that like button and show me that you like me just a little bit. She said, "I'm in Georgia. I was just live with Blue." Oh, that was you. Okay, all right. My eyesight is not as good as it used to be. I saw you up in the corner, but I could not see what was under your name because I would have said hello to you. Thank you. Sorry about that earlier. Don't think I was trying to be rude, but thank you for showing up in my life. I appreciate you. Yeah, I enjoy watching you guys today. And that's what I like about it. There's always something for everybody on our channel. I don't care what it is, whether it's crafting like or making quilts like G Quad and Unbiased and Blue Lotus and Crafty Leo. When y'all get into y'all little element in your rooms, y'all just go into another zone. Y'all crafted and PIA and a few others of you ladies who are so talented when it comes to doing crafts. And not only crafts, but t-shirts and business cards. I mean, you ladies got a list of stuff that you can do. Gift baskets. I just love all the things that you're able to do. And we don't have to take our business outside. Is that J3? The chat just disappeared. Hey, Jigs. Hey. Um, and we can keep the money in our community. We can keep everybody, small businesses alive. We can support one another. Like J3 can send you honey and Sarah, Happy Highs and DCBs. We got people with so many different talents, you know, that's in our community that can help one another. All you got to do is let people know what you need. All you need to do is open up your mouth. Like I said, closed mouths don't get fed. So that's why I love about our community. You get to talking about stuff and people say, "Oh, I got you." Drop an email. Now, right now, I'm learning to dump a lot of stuff out of my email before they stop getting emails and being unable to send them out. I got a lot of old stuff I need to get out my computer, and I just need to take the time to do it. Um, and I've been shown how to do that as well, how to go in there and clean it out, so and I want to learn how to download pictures so that I don't lose them, and then too it'll help free up a lot of the space, not only pictures but videos and stuff. So I'm learning a lot of things about IT that I never thought I would learn, and it's thanks to all the people in our YouTube channels. We have people that can give you legal advice, like 10, and we have people that talk about love and who's at State Hall, and a few other people who talk about relationships and just all kinds of stuff that might relate to a womanhood. Um, and we have learned to cry on each other's shoulders when we're not feeling good. Folks is going through surgery, folks who had surgery and they're healing, and we kind of check on them to make sure they're doing okay. The folks that went through Hurricane Helene and Milton, we checked on them to see who was still without lights, and some people were out internet. We couldn't even get in contact with some people. Some people had their phone numbers and were still able to call to check on these individuals. Uh, Gloria does say hi to you. I see people saying hi to Gloria. So I don't want anybody to feel like if I didn't call your name that I didn't see you flash past me right quick and didn't catch your name altogether so I can say hello and welcome in to my live this evening. I really appreciate you. What I like for you guys to do is drop your temperatures. What was your temperature today? Because it's only 51 degrees here now and it's supposed to drop down to close to 30 this evening as the night goes on. I know some of you guys are still having days that got 80 and 90 degrees, but we won't see them again until next year around June or July. So, excuse me, what are your temperatures now? Wait a minute. I'm going to grab my glass of wine that I poured and forgot. Who's that? 81? Oh, okay. I got a friend who makes some really nice homemade wine, and he bought me a bottle. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, buddy. Is that Lady Dagger status? Where you been, hon? I haven't seen you in a while. You okay? Look at CC showing out. 85. Okay. T was in Georgia. CC's in Texas. Jigs in Georgia. 74 now. Mm, mm, mm. So Bless said it was 87 in Atlanta today. Man, listen to them. Like I said, we won't see them temperatures again until June or July of next in 2025, because that's a wrap for 2024. Want to say 85 high with a low of 60 tonight. Jeez. I would even take a low for 60. Mm, mm, mm. Yes, like I say, you see, got a sweater on just to help knock the chill off. Even though my heater's on, I put it on low. Long as I'm not seeing my breath and my nose is not running, I know the house is is comfortable. One day it was cold outside and I hadn't turned the whole house heat on. I had a little space heater. Do you know my cat, Miss Annie, sat in front of the space heater? I was like, now you know you got a fur coat. I know you can't be cold. Growing with Hudson. What's up? What's up? What's up? I was watching you earlier about your cash thing, about the $5 on the weekly thing, the dough. Yeah. Everybody saying hello to one another. Mike says it's 55 and raining there. Yeah, we're supposed to get rain tomorrow night, Friday night, it said. I thought it was going to rain for the last couple of days because it started out sunny, but then it got real cloudy. I was out in the garden doing some cleanup and I seen the sky for a minute. And then by the time I got halfway through cleaning, there was no sky to see as far as clear. It was all clouds. And I was like, well, I thought it was going to rain yesterday, but it didn't, and it didn't rain today, but it got cooler today and it's got windy today. So the wind helped drop the wind, how they say the wind chill factor a little lower. Mike, we're getting rain until, not getting rain until next week. Been over a month. Right now, my kiddie pools is actually full. They're full to the brim till they're almost overflowing because that's when we had that rain a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, it rained like for 3 or 4 days straight. Uh-oh. Do I see somebody saying hi to my girl? Hold on, y'all. Whew, that's a good one. Me. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Do do do. And I stop there. See, I'm missing Presbyterian so she can go. Okay. Thank you, Lala, for coming in. Growing with Hudson. How you doing, babe? I always worry about you and think about you. And I also think a lot about Mona, sifting with soil and more. I don't know. It's just something about you guys that you're always on my mind, hoping that you're well and doing okay. You know, um, it's amazing the impression some of you guys have made on me over the last couple of years. Some I've met in person, some I'm still anticipating on meeting in person. But Hudson and her husband sat at the table with us at the last Soil Family Expo, and we're with Broke Farmer, okay, and it was off the chain. And we had a beautiful evening. We ate and laughed and talked and ate and laughed. It was a beautiful thing. And it's just nice to meet good, honest hearted, like minded people where there's no discussion where one's trying to talk above another or conversations getting out of control because someone feels like their opinion wasn't valued or their toes were stepped on, so to speak. Everyone was there just to have a good time. Folks have traveled. I had to get on a plane, two planes to get there because I couldn't get a straight flight, to get there and to sit down and enjoy and laugh and have, like Shawnee 2003, that child is crazy. Oh, we laughed so much. We had such a good time. And Dale, she my boogie partner. It's just, I want to meet so many more of you guys. I hope I can make it next year. If this knee surgery go okay, I'm going to try to make it. Tori's brain. Oh man, it's hot in here. This must be on fire. What's up, Tori? How you doing? How you doing? I'm about 90% to the good. Yes, it was beautiful and priceless. Yeah. Not to be repeated, but to get better. Yep, that was a good one. But I know we just keep getting better each year. It's just nice. Yeah, 90%. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm so glad to hear that. And my Renaissance grandma, I got to meet you. Let me tell you, I was in the bathroom and I got this new soap. I don't know why, because I just saw it and I wanted it and I bought it. Then I brought it in the house and I just stuck it in the cabinet because I still had two more bars of yours and I've been using it. I use it sparingly. I want it to last as long as possible. And Renaissance Grandma, your soaps is always like a room um, freshener because I have them in a little fancy dish in the bathroom. And my bathroom is small, but when you walk in, it just has a pleasant scent in it. It's just nice. I just love your stuff. I do, I do, I do. Odom, what's up, Odom? How are you? And y'all, don't forget that when I'm off, Odom's on. I know y'all will be gradually floating from my lives over to his because he'll be on right after me this evening. So yeah. And Odom, I was watching you with those grape cuttings. You got any more? Is those mustardines grapes that you was trimming in the yard? Ooh, the chat just jumped. Toy brain. Oh, he's saying hi. Fire. Yeah. I like to meet Tori. For real, for real. Because everybody say Tori is tall. I was like, oh, because he in Texas. Oh, yeah. So, all you guys I would like to meet at one point or time in this lifetime. I'm not a spring chicken. even though I wish I could pop up like that every now and then, but whew, I'm getting older and sometimes it's a little rough on travel. Okay, my chat just jumped again. All right, I got Dolores. You got to show me how to put this thing in slow mode, because when it jumped like that, I have no idea. I see people saying stuff, and before I could click on it, it just said, pew. But anyway, how many of you guys in the chat have already harvested your sweet potatoes? Well, this with Frugal Mama. Work it, girl. Work it. Tori is a tall glass of water. No, we say tall drink of water. You young folks says glass of water. Oh, yeah. I watched the video and I seen how tall he was over everybody else. So I know he's a tall drink of water. Yeah. See, Tori already got a spouse and he too young. Ooh, I enjoy. I love tall men. It's just something sexy about a tall man. It is. I have to say, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm biased. Yeah. I had a friend that used to come right up to bosom height, and I was like, no, dude, back up. Can't do it. Shantirement, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Are you okay? I mean, you've been MIA for a minute. Some kids broke the top of your Miwok Conqua. Oh no. Did you kill him? Did you catch him? Cece said, I know, Miss Shirley. I can't talk to you, CC, because see this conversation will turn in X-rated. Then all of a sudden, David will pop up saying, "What did y'all say?" Because he already talking about he like his women beefy. You know, I told a guy, I had a big guy tell me once he liked me as a friend. He said I was too skinny. He said he like a woman when he said he like meat and potatoes. I was like, different strokes for different folks. And I told him I didn't like fluffy either. I like them tall and slim. So we good. Oh, good evening, everybody. Says Homestead Rachel. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming in this evening. I appreciate you. Yeah, and you know that's funny how we can be alike in so many ways, but there's always that little difference in each and every one of us that makes us unique in our own way on how we look for mates, how we look for long-term friends, how we look for just people in general. And you know, you're not always in love with your own people. You know, like we have developed this community amongst ourselves. This has been what they call another extended family, our garden community. Because when we see one another, we laugh, we cry, we hug and kiss. When I left the Soil Family Expo this year, my back was killing me. I had been hugged so tight and squeezed so tight. She said, "Oh, she dug up her sweet potatoes in August. Woo! I put some rooting hormones on the broken part and harvested the leaves." Okay, yeah, I got a Miwok kumquat about this big, and I want to bring him in before the cold snap hit him, and hopefully I get a chance to let them finish out in the basement, and I can enjoy it. Girl, dad cooking up deliciousness. My kind of man. Knows his way around the kitchen. Yes, indeedy. I appreciate you. You spoiling your daughter, girl, dad. Uh, Wellness for Frugal Mama said, I haven't checked my sweet potatoes yet, planning on it this weekend. And the only reason I really got in them because the leaves started turning yellow and the stems started turning yellow. So I know they were dying back. So I knew at this point in time, it was time to harvest them. I also got a video coming out that I screwed up halfway through. I was harvesting my ginger and I was walking past my rose bush and I got snagged. The thorns on them was a little longer than I anticipated, and I hit the wrong button, and I got to do a part two. Cece said, yes, Miss Shirley. Them skinny tall trees. Okay, I'm behaving. All my sweet potatoes done. I like how you slid that in there. So all my sweet potatoes done. Oh, Lord have mercy. Uh, Hudson said, okay, no sweet potatoes this year, but I have. You got loofah? Okay. Harvested my sweet potatoes in August too. Yeah, but see how weather's different from ours. See, it's cold here. Y'all still got a little heat going on. And you know what? I'ma see if the weather starts warming up in June. I'ma plant them as soon as the ground get at least 55 degrees and above and plant them early. Sylvia, I love saying your name. Good evening, sweetheart. Thank you for coming in. Pretty girl. Hello, hon. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Thank all of y'all for coming in this evening. I got 40 in my chat. Woo! Y'all just making me glow and flow. That's so nice of you all for coming this way. I appreciate y'all so much. Um, we're talking about a little bit of everything, this, that, and a third. Uh, I've talked about how you can take certain veggies in your garden and enjoy them. And what I've noticed too, that we're getting away from pork. We still like our bacon, maybe sausage occasionally. But as far as on a regular basis, I see more people cooking with smoked turkey. Some of us still throw in some ham shanks, according on what kind of flavor you want for your beans or string beans. But for the most part, people are starting trying to eat a little healthier. You know, it's no good of having fresh vegetables if everything you add to them is still going to raise your blood pressure. Sylvia said, I plan to harvest my sweet potatoes at the end of this month. Okay. I wanted to wait until the end of this month, but like I said, the weather's been changing here. It's been getting cold and things is dying back. And I didn't want to mess up stuff. That's right, Hudson. Tell him. Just a little bit. Be greatly appreciated. Yeah, so that's the only reason I did when the leaves started changing. And I distribute a lot of my ginger. I have some African friends and they cook with ginger every day. So last night at Bible study, I took him some ginger and I told him, you can make tea from the leaves. And I added some rosemary, some mojito mint, some of those cayenne peppers and stuff because he likes to cook a lot. So yeah. So his wife was telling me about a dish that they make from, oh shoot, I forgot. It's a root vegetable that I've heard of that I gotta try. So I really want it. Mike said my greens have hocks. Yeah, I like ham hocks too now. I like that flavor too. Yes, I really like it in my string beans. Cassandra, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in this evening. How's your brothers and sisters? I love meeting them as well. That was a treat to meet Cassandra and her family when they came to the Soil Family Expo last year or year before. Yeah, and we had a good time. Sylvia said, we still have summer going through the day and in the 60s to 70s at night. Yeah, I wished. Yeah. It's been 51 and holding, but that'll probably change right after midnight. Cassava, yeah, that, yep. There you go. Thank you very much. Psalms 1 4. I'm glad somebody be paying me attention and listening to help my memory because my memory come and go. Sometimes I could be in the middle of a conversation, lose my thought, and then I get frustrated. I was like, shoot, I hope y'all was listening. Tell me what was I talking about so I could pick up from where I left off at. So yeah, growing old ain't always easy. You got good days and you got bad days. I hear young folks saying they go through the same thing too. Yeah. And I understand, believe me. Or everybody saying hello to one another. How you doing? Also, what's your favorite combination of brassicas? Cause I think I've had them just about everywhere you can cook them. My grandmother has put um, white potatoes in her greens. She's added okra in her greens. She's added rutabaga to her greens, onions to the greens. She's added quite a few stuff. Do I see somebody saying hello to Vision Preparedness? What's up, VP? If you in his house. Oh, thank you for stopping in. Yep, everybody's saying hi. Thank you, the man with the plan on being prepared. Thank you for stopping in this evening. I appreciate you very much, very much. So, another brother Ohioan, right below Gina Gina. Yep, I like turnips and kale. Okay, all right. Sometimes I like mustards. It's sometimes that little bite in the mustards just kind of ramp up the flavor a little bit. Sam said you were talking about sharing fresh ginger with your friends from Africa who eats the cassava root that you want to try. Thank you very much. Yep, that's exactly the one I want to try. There you go, VP. Hello, hello, hello. Yep, everybody's saying hi. Yep. So yeah, um I like collards with kale and mustards. Mustards and turnips used to be my favorite. For some reason, it seemed like collards got sweeter. And I just like that more hefty kind of leaf on there. And so I hear a lot of people talking about eating the leaves off their broccoli, off their Brussels sprouts, and off a few other green plants that they grow as well, and saying they're good. Because when I made my 15 bean soup, I had harvested some tomato, sweet potato leaves, some tree collards, and some mustards, and put that in the soup as well. And they were so tender and sweet, they cook right down. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Swiss chard. Mustard green, Swiss chard, and beet leaves. Oh, I've had beet leaves too. Thank you, Cece. Those are good as well. Yeah, now I sauteed the beet leaves with some olive oil and some garlic and onion powder. That was nice. Yeah. I'm mainly into broccoli leaves. Yeah, they're high in vitamins. I've really been into broccoli. I got 4 heads of broccoli in there now that I want to steam um, and eat. I was thinking about making some broccoli cheddar soup. See how I feel tomorrow. That I might make a nice small pot of that I can eat for the next couple of days because this is the kind of weather for it. Lady Dagger Status says the broccoli leaves taste great. I even mixed them with collards. Okay. Hmm. That's a new combination I can try. Thank you for the suggestion. Mike says I got 7 broccoli raw plants inside. I'm eating leaves from and regular broccoli outside. Okay. All right. So you can grow them in your hydroponics. Now, Mike, do you have a hydroponics that's tall enough for you to grow that stuff? I know I've seen how you had wrapped around the vines for cucumbers, but all right, broccoli rabe. Yeah. That's something I haven't gotten into yet was the broccoli rabe. I've had it in salads raw, but I haven't had it any other way. I haven't had the leaves. I've actually had the broccoli rabe itself. Okay, I don't know how to say that. What's that? Chimmy, just and Swiss chard is good. If I hear somebody say the word, I can say it. But just looking at this, I can't break this bad boy down. Chimmy, Jim Sai, and Swiss chard is good. All right. I like broccoli leaves with collards too. Okay. All right. Now, when you go to the store, if you don't have the broccoli in your garden, when you go to most stores, they've already stripped all the broccoli leaves off the broccoli and just have the heads tied up. Very few, unless you go to like an open air market or farmer's market where they have the leaves attached so that you can really enjoy eating those. Mike said, I'm going to make grilled chicken teriyaki and grilled broccoli again tomorrow because wife loved it. Okay. Yeah, we see you in there cooking up a storm. Growing Hudson, my Chinese spinach never came up. I don't hear people talking about spinach too much anymore. Carlot leaves stir fried with sausage and cornbread. Now I've done that with cabbage. Stir fried cabbage. I have some smoked kabasi. Saute that down first with some bell peppers and onions, and then throw my cabbage in there and smother it down and pour that over some rice with cornbread on the side. Make you want to reach out and smack something. You know, when you get to chewing and humming, yeah, buddy. My Renaissance grandma said, I've had that for lunch today. Growing with her said, sucky, sucky. Yeah. I love to hear you guys cook. I love to hear the combination of what you cook and whether it's for brunch or lunch or dinner. Oh, Nelson said, I love me some mustards. I never eat them until I grow them, but I will throw down on some garden greens. I pick them all, whatever leafy green is growing with some smoked meat. I hear you. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, I yet to get. Uh-oh. All right. Cece said I ate kohlrabi leaves for the first time with steak and shrimp. Okay. Yeah, kohlrabi's good too. I waste I wasted so many seeds. Yeah, you can do that if you're not careful. Pretty girl said my spinach came up, but not my lettuce. Huh. And normally most people have a hard time germinating lettuce and spinach and no problems with lettuce. All right. I make sure I plant plenty of spinach. Much. It takes so much for a meal if I cook. Yeah, because once you start sauteing spinach, it cooks down to nothing. You can have a whole big pan. Look at it. When you look at it, it's like this. Yeah. Don't take much for how they say for it to wilt when you're sauteing it. But with a little olive oil and garlic, it's good. Now I've tried the oil that has the garlic in it, and it's so good. If you don't have fresh garlic, I planted so much fresh garlic everywhere. I hope if half of it come up, I'll be happy. I love fresh garlic. I'm opposite pretty girl. I can grow all the lettuce and not spinach. And see, that's what I'm saying. Most people say they have a hard time getting spinach to germinate, much longer grow, but they can grow lettuce all day long. Hmm. Spinach likes cool weather. Okay. Yeah, because if it's in hot, it can bolt before it can even get to where it needs to be. Nikki, I couldn't make it last night for the Wednesday thing. So I'm drinking tonight and I got my pinky up. Lying down Wednesday. I got in late from Bible study, so I didn't get a chance to tune in. When I tuned in, when I hit my internet, who was on? Tampa was on. Cece said, Mike, I found some spinach growing in the ground next to my raised bed. Go figure. Hmm. It liked the spot. Oh, you know what I found? I thought I had what was that, mullein? I thought I had killed my mullein. And when I went in the garden, I moved the pot and it must have seeded and dropped seeds, and there was a little patch of mullein back there. The deer kept eating it down, so they didn't find that, and I was like, cool. So I put the pot back. I want to keep my mullein as long as possible. Yeah. So, like say guava. Thank you, B. Um. So yeah. Uh, what are you guys planning next year that's new that you never tried before? Not something that you haven't tried from the store, but something that you want to grow in your garden and try new. Because every year we try to grow at least one new thing that we haven't tried before. Miss J.K. Gardner says, I have a combined sweet potato greens with spinach. So good. Mm. And they cook down about the same. That's a good one. I got to try that. Yeah, that sounds tasty. I haven't grown spinach in a while. I'll grow lettuce in a heartbeat, but spinach, I haven't grown down. And I love spinach. I love spinach. I do. I planted garlic for the first time. That's all right now. All righty. And let me tell you, it's nothing like homegrown. I don't care what it is. Peppers, onions, tomatoes, garlic. It's just that earthy flavor to it. And it's just so good. Yep. Mike, spinach can take temps as low as 28 degrees. Oh, did not know that, Sylvia. Even I didn't know that. And I'm definitely in snow and ice up in here. Accordion tomatoes. Okay. That's something new. That's cool, Cece. I think rabbits kicked my celery seeds out of the grow bag. I had what I think it was flowered lettuce in the flowers behind the bag. Oh, them pesky rabbits. Yeah. Yeah, I hear a lot of folks complaining. Who was I watching the other day that had me dying laughing? Beauty in the Garden. She said them rabbits tore her garden up this year. So they was eating her cabbage, her lettuce, her tomatoes. They was tearing her yard up. And she was getting ready. She had redesigned her garden, added some raised beds. Girlfriend said, "This is all I wore." She said she never had the problem with rabbits like she did this year. They was eat. I was like, I seen the stuff you grow, Beauty in the Garden. Your stuff be humongous. You know what I'm saying? It'd be unbelievable. Them daikon radishes and stuff. I'd have been all up in your garden too. That stuff be looking too good up in there. Mike said I would plant some extra early, Sylvia are late. Next year, I want to try again my Jamaican sorrow. I actually had it and it was growing. It was looked so pretty. And I came back the next day and the deer ate it down to a stick. I literally cried. I worked hard on that. They ate up that, my Tigger melons, my butterfly blue pea. So I was out there today stretching out some chicken wire, and I got one of these big box stores. I asked them that if I can have any damaged chicken wire or chain link fence. I really want to close my garden in, so I don't do all this work in vain. Yeah. There she go with the eyes peeping at Tampa. You so silly. I was like, what is that? It was like a pair of eyeballs. Tampa Creek, what's up? How are you, Pam? Thank you for stopping in to see. I appreciate you. I don't know of anything I want to grow new. Any suggestions? Uh, Cece, I think you pretty much growing everything. Cece, one thing I'm not sure. Do you have pomegranate? I think I've seen you grow everything else, but I don't know. Do you have pomegranates in your yard? Sylvia said, I barely cover the seeds and water them well. They do take longer to germinate. You know what I found out? When I planted in my green star, the original way I was planting, I was actually planting them too deep and it was fighting to get to the surface. So I actually put the seeds, I make sure the soil is already moistened, good and drenched, and because it's going to drain. And I put my seeds on top. I pressed them down just a little bit to make sure they had good contact, and I put perlite over the top. So it kept them moist, it kept them warm, and in less than 2 or 3 days, I had seedlings popping up like nobody's business. They came up so quick, they kind of scared me. Mike said the rabbits left my garden alone once stuff grew, but when it was just dirt, uh-oh, the chat jumped. I missed that. Yeah, I can imagine. Everybody saying hi to Tampa. Cece grow bananas. Yeah, am I looking, Miss Shirley? Ah, how Mackenzie doing? She acting right. I bought my great grandbaby some socks today. They had a bunch of them in the packs. I'd be like, "Where is the baby socks?" And I was just like looking around. So I bought some socks, and my granddaughter said, "Thank you." Because she every time I see her, she got a sock in her mouth. She's cutting teeth. She got 2, 4, 6, and she's cutting 2 more. And she's pulling and gnawing on everything. She had this one finger all the way in the back, so I know she's cutting them in the back. And she bites, and I had to get on her about bite. She was biting. I mean, bite, bite, bite. You know, with no little nip. It was bite, bite. Made me jumpy. She said, "Look at me," and I was like, "You know, you was wrong." She go, "Yeah." I said, "Shut up." And she stopped. I was like, "Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with you. You know that hurt." I said, "If I bite you back, then I'm wrong." I was like, "Don't you bite, Nana." Yeah, I love her, but she get a little frisky sometimes. She says, "I actually want a dwarf pomegranate cutting from Ching Mama this week." Okay, cool. I had some pomegranate cuttings, but they did not root. Yeah, I want to get what is that one? It's supposed to be like from Russia. Uh, that's supposed to be cold hardy in zone 6B. So I want to try that one and see because I love pomegranate. I got one in there now. I need to crack open. We used to buy them all at this time of year, starting in September when the pomegranates start coming out. I'm doing okay. I'm a little sore because I've been working out in that garden so diligently. I'm cleaning out all my 5-gallon buckets. I'm cleaning all the weeds out, and I'm adding a little bone meal and blood meal to them so that they'll be ready for the spring. And then I'm putting mulch on top to help keep out any future weeds and also to just keep the soil in the pots. So, and hopefully I don't have not groundhogs. Groundhogs will be going into hibernation. Raccoons digging them out, looking for stuff. Yeah, Mackenzie. All right, maybe one day, Mike. Not interested. Oh, and you're not interested in bananas. Yeah, with those high winds that you have coming through there, they would snap your bananas like no business. Who is that? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. It's my granddaughter. Let her know I'll call her back. Mike said, "Oh, ooh, it jumped again. Kiwi. That's all I saw." Cece said, "I want to grow bananas for the leaves for fertilizer." Yeah, I take the banana leaves off of mine. I got a dwarf Kavanaugh banana plant, and I chop up the leaves and I put them in my super juice. I chop them up, and then I put some of them back around the bottom of the banana plant itself. Hey, Serena, Norel, how are you? Thank you for stopping in this evening. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm gonna text my granddaughter right quick, make sure it's not an emergency. Yeah, you know, when you got grandkids, you gotta kind of check them out. Um, doing my live. Is everything okay? Yes. No. Yeah. You know, when they got a baby, you gotta check, make sure. Make sure it's everything's okay. In bed, timed out this early. Yeah. Veggie Farm slid in here and I didn't see her. Hey Veggie, how are you, sweetie? Slow modes on Tampa. Yeah, I'm gonna learn how to do the slow modes. Cause just I'll be reading something, then all of a sudden the check go pew, and I'm like, oh, I'm not used to restream yet, so I don't know how to pull it down, and I'm scared if I do that, I'll miss it. Yeah, I want to wait. I'm just waiting to get some. Odom, my banana plant didn't put out 2 pups, and I need to take them out of the same pot because they're in a huge pot. To take them out and put them in their own separate pots. Because one summer I would really like to get a rack of bananas. You can only post one comment a minute. Okay. Slow modes on 60 seconds. I don't know how to do that just yet, so I'm still trying to figure out how to stop when it goes up. I said I need to pull out my phone so I can see comments I missed, and I see him freezing and going back. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to mess with that. Mm-mm. Slow mo. Oh, I just hit something. I hit Mike's name and it came up. I'm not trying to hit anybody's name because I don't know how to get back. Okay. It says show. All right. Okay. It's on now, Miss Shirley. Okay. Mike, are you guys showing up as moderators? Because there's no change of color on my screen. All right. Well, there you go. So I guess you're not blocked. Don't give me the line, y'all. I'm still on the IT boogie board. Where folks is helping me out, so I don't know. They just don't post. Okay. All right. I've learned that if I click on it, it'll show up on top. Um, yes. Okay. All right. Well, as time goes on, and I have all these IT experts who have been calling me and helping me out to get into the swing of things. You have a timer after you post a comment. Once it goes away, you can post again. Sylvia, that don't help me at all. You have a timer after you post. A timer for how long? All right, because my chat just took off again. Just came upstairs. Hey, Gail, how are you? Thank you for stopping in this evening. Appreciate you. Nobody is blocked, Mike said. Hey, Kenneth Wilkerson, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, for some of you other guys who just popped in, have you harvested your sweet potatoes yet? Or have you already done it and made a video and it just hasn't been posted? Because I really got disappointed. I really wanted to join the challenge of hashtag collards and cabbage 2024, but our weather is not conducive in our uh, cabbage and collards to really get to where they need to be this time of year. Because there's no way they're going to be big enough for later on this year. Yeah. Everybody saying hello to one another. And not only sweet potatoes. Has anybody been harvesting ginger? I love watching the video that Hands in the Dirt made and collecting his ginger. My video, I'm gonna have to learn how to cut and paste because it's in two parts of me collecting my ginger. I had 3 pots. Next year, I'm gonna actually try ginger in the ground. The same trash can that I had the sweet potatoes in, I would like to try ginger because that soil is pretty loose and soft. I might add another bag of potting soil to it and see if they get a chance to spread out and really give me some bigger pieces. Shantae said, my sweet potatoes did not grow, but I'll keep trying. Yeah, you don't give up. Yeah. Cece said, yep, ginger gone, done too. Yeah. I didn't grow sweet potatoes this year. What? Cece, you have so much stuff in your garden. Your garden is so compact and so neat. I can see where the OCD kicks in at. I just love it with your flowers and what have you. Yeah. I want to grow more zinnias or zinnias or however you want to say it, and a lot more marigolds next year. And I was surprised. I normally have marigolds jumping out the wazoo, but they didn't come back that good this year. So I'm gonna definitely try for next year. Lady Dagger status said, I want to try turmeric next year. I need to research when to put it out for zone 7. I'm gonna put my turmeric and my ginger out at the same time. Psalm said, I harvested some ginger from the grocery store. Seems some budding on the rhizome, so I'm hoping to plant some and eventually get a harvest from it. Okay, they say you can grow it on the inside. They said it's a nice house plant and the leaves are good for filtrating the air too. So try it and find out. I got a couple of 5 gallon buckets that's empty. I would like to try starting my ginger and turmeric in the house in the basement under the grow lights because it takes it so long. But even though I started late, I got a nice harvest. And I like getting my ginger rhizomes from the Asian store because the Asian store, theirs literally be this big and they only want maybe a buck or something for them. Whereas if you go to the health food store or any other supermarket, they want to give you a piece this big and charge you twice as much. So the Asian store is my go-to spot now for rhizomes. And what was so weird about it when I went there, asked the gentleman, I said, "Excuse me," and he tried to act like he didn't speak English. I said, "All I was going to ask you is, do you have any ginger?" And he said, "It's right over there." I was like, "Oh, how rude." Grown Hudson said, "I started January indoors and put it outside after last frost. I'm in zone 7, Tennessee." So you down there with Odom. Okay. But y'all still have better weather than what we have up here. So yeah, it was the onion slayer. Now the ones who could grow the best onions I've seen so far is Broke. Broke Farmer had onions as big as baseballs. I couldn't believe them size of them onions. And he don't even like them. That's the killing part. Yeah. And I love onions. I like to cook with that. I have a ganglious. Okay. All right. I will be planting some onions for you in November. Okay. I love them. Ship them FedEx overnight. I love some onions. Oh my goodness. Plant some onions for you in November. So, yeah. Plant some for me too. I'm saying, boo hoo, Cece, we got jokes. Oop, And that's another thing I like about us guys. We can tease one another and don't feel offended. I love that. Let's see if I can do another one. I'm trying to learn the little odds and Pro goes from, yeah, he did. They were absolutely gorgeous, and he don't like them. Getting ready to harvest my ginger. It was pretty late getting started. Mine too, because we had a dry spell, then we had a wet spell, then we had a hot spell, then we had another dry spell, and I was like, I can't be dragging water back and forth over here. See, during the wet spell, I didn't mind because I had more than enough water to uh, water my plants over there. The lot doesn't have a source of water, so I have to literally take buckets of water and watering cans of water over there to water my plants. Yeah. So he said, "Get it off your chest, Odom." That'll be coming later. That's against the law of Sylvia Garden Adventures. You can't plant onions in my birthday month. Oh, why not? Hey, you always saying grow, 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 grow what I eat. So, hey, whenever you can. That's all right, Mike. You at home, do what you need to do. Y'all funny. So it's all right. I've only seen a couple people say what they will grow next year that they haven't grown before. One new item. What would you grow in your garden next year that you have never tried before? Okay, Serena. Send all the onion seeds to Odin for his birthday. Oh, Cece, you know you ain't right. I don't like them either. Devil's balls. Look, you can eat. What was that you was eating? Possum and some other stuff that most of us haven't tried or may not try until push come to shove, and all you complain about is onions. Okay, All right, Odin. Yeah, I'm gonna eat devil's balls all day long because I like them. I never knew so many people that didn't like onions. Yeah, and I'm finding more and more people who don't like greens and watermelon too. I'm finna take a whole lot of people's black card. Pretty girl says, I'm going to try some corn. I wouldn't try corn around here. I got too many bandit critters around here. Yeah, tell them, Nikki. Yeah, yeah, we got a lot of strange people. We revoke when they black card. I was like, I ain't mad at you, but that'd be just that much more for the rest of us. Okay, that we can eat. Yes, indeed. 'Cause it's not too much I don't eat because we came from the age where if you don't eat what's sitting in front of you, you going to bed hungry. I ain't never been hungry going to bed. Yeah, corn does not like me. I'm going to keep trying though. What, Nikki? You be growing a whole lot of stuff up in there. That makes it hard to believe. I'm going to try to plant a dime and see if I can get $100. Oh, you silly. Oh, that's a good one though. Oh, see, it's a whole lot of stuff you don't like. Every time I turn around, you didn't like, what was that? You was eating melons and some other stuff, and he's like, and you was cooking stuff, and you was tasting it, and you was like, I was like, mm. Yeah. Keep trying till you get a couple of ears. Yeah, you'll be all right, Nikki. Hey, Senor Rene. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. McDonald's pulled the quarter pounder from the menu after an E. coli outbreak due to the onions. Sound like a farmer put cow manure down when it wasn't aged enough. Ooh, all right. Well, you know that who is that? Georgia Peach Nut. My girl be on them recalls. Ooh, and that's another thing. We got too many recalls. We never had this many recalls growing up. Everything was fresh. Wasn't nobody pooping and peeing and carrying on all, on all your food. Every now and then you get some cases of salmonella, but I'm talking about this listeria and all this other stuff. It's just gone crazy. And the thing with Kellogg's about the cereal, the dyes, all in the food that children have been having reaction from the different color Fruit Loops and whatever else that they put them in. Yeah, it's a whole lot of recalls on a whole lot of stuff. And it's a shame that they don't want us healthy. They always predicting or preaching about being healthy, but then they study killing us with all this stuff they put in our food. Yeah, Odom, there's a lot of stuff. Odom, you sound like my schizophrenic uncle once he planted a coin in the dirt and said he's growing a money tree. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I got the Hershey squirts once from eating some from Mickey D's, and I haven't eaten there for a while either. Yeah, I used to like the quarter pounder, but the stuff just run through you. Yeah, and then like if you listen to a lot of these whistleblowers, they said that if we were to work in some of these places for the foods that we like to eat, we would never eat them again. And I was like, that's pretty deep. That's nasty. That to the point where they not only they would stop eating it, but they would stop family and friends from eating it because they know what's going in it. Um, yeah, that too. I'm going to try ashwagandha for energy and calming effects. Also going to try jade cucumbers and try growing sorrel again earlier. The false fall got them. Yeah. A quarter pounder. is the one taking people out, Nikki. Because everybody like the quarter pounder. Yeah. So, yeah, my friend takes ashwagandha and something else. He's a bodybuilder. He be taking all that stuff. I got some protein shake stuff or shakes in there now and greens to add to making smoothies and stuff to build my energy level back up again. I've been drinking coconut water on the regular and a few other things. And I have to say, my energy level has beefed back up. I can't say it don't work. Yeah, it is, Nikki. Just like they said about the slaughterhouses. If you see how they slaughter all those animals and stuff, you probably would never eat meat again. And Nikki said, I like to live on the edge. I hate you, Nikki. Because some of the stuff, you get it home and get it in your kitchen and you can cook up a storm and it just tastes so good. It's kind of hard not to say, I won't eat it again. Cece said, I work plenty of fast foods. I know what time to not go through the drive through. Okay. I've never worked in a fast food restaurant. I feel the workers aren't getting the quality standards right. Yeah, I can believe that too. They just want to get it done. When they give them quotas and they had to put out so much within a period of time, so therefore they just gonna sling it. you know, they not eating it. Their family's not eating it. It ain't no big deal to them. Did you see my story about the chiropractor's receptionist? No, I did not, Serena. I have to go back and check it out. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, it's like that in all the food industry. A lot of the stuff, like we complain about the tomatoes that's watery, they're not meaty, and they have no taste. We know they hothouse. Um, Same way with a lot of our foods. Like I told you, if you walk into your produce department and you don't smell any veggies, why is that? LGGG, what's up, hon? Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, it is. You do take your life in your hands. I know my nephew and my niece, they went to, was it Checkers or Rallies or one of them, and they had food poisoning so bad they ended up in the hospital. So, yeah. So that's why they keep telling us to grow your own groceries. Eat what you plant in your garden. You know, express that to not only to your mate or significant other, but to your children, your neighbors, your friends. Let them know all the health benefits that they can get from eating El Natural. Um, the herbs you make, a lot of people are making tinctures and cough syrups and salves and ointments and all kinds of stuff from the natural stuff they have in their yard. So you don't have to worry about having allergic reactions to this stuff because there's no added chemical to stabilize it or to preserve it longer. And some of this stuff can last forever being natural. You don't need all that extra stuff. But they got all these chemicals that they have developed and they got to figure out what to do with them and how to make it profitable for them. Because most of the stuff out here now, it's all about the Benjamins. All about the Benjamins. So, yeah, I think it's best to go in the front door, close, go somewhere else. Yep. Hey, Backyard Garden. Flo. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. Whew. All right. I can come out the sweater. This wine is all right. I'm warm now. Let me change this just a little bit. Yes, indeed. So I'm enjoying it and it's enjoying me. So, yeah. But everybody have learned to hit the fast food places once in a blue moon. They don't hit them like they used to. Once they learn how to garden and how to eat a lot healthier, help bring down your weight, Might help you get off of blood pressure medication or being a diabetic or take some of the weight off your knees, off your hips. You know, you're cleansing your system out. You don't have to worry about being constipated. You don't have to worry about your skin because you're hydrating and you're eating healthy. Sylvia said, I could make a mean quarter pounder out of ground brown steak. That's what I'm saying. You could do. I I know the story I was telling earlier about my grandkids. When they were little, we didn't go to the fast food place. We went to the supermarket. And see, when I come home and brought the food home and we cook, we could eat as many times as we wanted to. When you go to fast food, you eat a hamburger and fries, maybe an hour or two later, you're hungry again. Here, when you make your home food, it sticks to your ribs, it lasts longer, and you content it. Only thing you want is dessert. Mike, you hear your girl? We are only doing what our elders and ancestors was doing. It can't be wrong. Yeah. And that's the way they lived because that's the only way that they had. They didn't have all these fast food. They didn't have Burger King and McDonald's and all this other stuff. They had a lot of barbecue restaurants going on. Well, you had your Polish boys and your ribs and chicken and stuff, but they didn't have all this other stuff. If you wanted a hamburger, like they said, you got your ground beef or ground round, or you got your what they call it, beef, and you put it in, you grind and crank it up and make your own hamburgers and meatloaf and what have you. You made everything from scratch. And I like making my burgers from scratch because I know exactly what's in it. I know how it's going to taste. And I know what else I can add to it. If I want to put a slice of tomato or slice of onion on it or cheese or whatever, that's what I'm saying. And like when I make my steak, I can put my rosemary and butter in there and saute that bad boy down, fried it, please. Whew, yeah, I can't make it better nowhere else. You can go to a nice restaurant, but I'm like Dorothy. Click my heels 3 times. There's no place like home. Yeah. So that's the way I look at it. When I go in my kitchen, I am the top shelf. Don't you see them on my live? I know they can hear you. No, not now. No, she think it's past her time. No, this is my time. Yeah. I can make my own fries. That's another thing about sweet potatoes. You ain't got to have regular fries. You can have sweet potato fries. Sweet potato fries is the bomb. Okay, have some free sweet potato fries along with your burger, and you might take some lettuce and some other, make some homemade dressing, and you can have your own tossed salad on the side. I used to have friends come over, and I said, "You want a salad?" And it's like, "Yeah." I gave them a basket and a pair of scissors. Go over there, get whatever you want. They come back with lettuce and tomatoes, maybe a couple of sticks of celery and stuff. They have made their own salad. I set them in the kitchen in the sink. You can wash everything off, chop it up, make your own salad. And I'm sitting there making the dressing, homemade dressing. I didn't squeezed out some garlic and some vinegar and some honey and some what is it? What else I put in there? Parsley, salt and pepper and stuff, and some mustard and some extra virgin olive oil and shaking it up and made some homemade dressing and poured it over your salad, please. They'd be like, I didn't think you can eat like this. You'd be surprised how many people don't realize how clean and how easy it is to eat that way. Yeah, backyard garden flow. Everything I eat come from my kitchen. Yeah. Tina Renee says, I love sweet potato fries. Ain't they good, girl? The first time I got introduced to them, I was like, oh, I can eat these all day. They were so good. They were seasoned just right, the whole 9 yards. Sylvia, you are making me hungry. Oh, seasoned fries is easy. Once you take them out the hot oil, you let them drain a little bit and then shake whatever season you want on them, whether it's salt, garlic powder, whatever, floats your boat as far as your taste buds. Or you can make a mix and then pour your fries into them. And like they said, toss them like you would do when you putting sauce on chicken wings. It's not hard at all. It's real easy. You can make whatever you want. You can make your Parmesan, you can make your honey mustard, you can make whatever flavor that you like. That's how you make seasoned fries. It's not hard at all. Whatever you like. Hey, Miss Kelsey. Thank you for stopping in this evening. I appreciate you. Albert Miranda. Thank you for stopping in this evening, Albert. Nice to see you here. Yeah, so I mean, you have the ability to make your food taste the way you want it to taste, not how the overall crowd thinks food tastes. It's just like when you invite people to your house for dinner, they don't call you in advance and say, "Hey, I need you to cook this, like this, that, and the third." No, that's not how it works. You go in the kitchen, and as they say, you cook it with love, and they will eat everything on their plate and ask for seconds. I will make drinks for folks. They sit, have a good time. I got a nice little bar. And then I would have them eat, and they would eat till they fall out. I literally have pictures of friends and family that come over and fallen asleep in the chairs on the sofa after dinner. And while they sleep, I clean the table off, and then I go pull out dessert and put it on the table. I made a cake or a pie and stuff and some ice cream and stuff. So by the time everybody wake up, they could just have dessert. If they want, they just wrap it up and take it home. Hey, the New Orleans Garden. Good evening, Miss Linda. Thank you for stopping in this evening. I appreciate you. I thought you made a thin batter and dip before you fried the fried potatoes. I'll try your way. The dip did not work. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't dip it in anything. When you slice your fries, you make sure you put them in cold water because you want to wash the starch over them. When you the starch slows down the crispiness of your fries. So you want to wash all that starch off your fries. Towel dry them and drop them in your hot oil of your choice, whether it might be grapeseed oil or avocado oil or canola oil or vegetable oil, and you drain them well, and then you season them, and then you eat. That's how they go. Not real hard at all. Drills Healing Garden. Hey, hon, thank you for stopping in this evening. I appreciate you so much. Hey, F.R. Humphrey. What's up, Alicia? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you. My question was tonight to folks, how did your sweet potatoes harvest go? Have you harvested them already, or have and let us see the video, or have you harvested them and haven't shown the video yet? And it's upcoming, and not only your sweet potatoes, if you also have ginger, have you harvest that too? Because for our time of the year now in 6B, it's time for us to harvest sweet potatoes, ginger, and anything else because the leaves start changing colors and the weather and the nights are getting colder. When I first started my live, it was at 51. Now it's down to 48. It's supposed to get down to 30 degrees. And I hope that some of my plants that are not cold hardy, I hope they'll be okay. As a matter of fact, probably after the live, I'll run outside and throw some sheets over, not plastic, but sheets. Hopefully that'll help keep them warm just a little bit until I can get somebody to bring them in because they're too heavy for me to pick up. F.R. Humphrey, Felicia said, I haven't pulled mine yet. Okay. Sylvia said, I really hope I get sweet potatoes. All right, you haven't pulled yours out yet either. Yeah, I was surprised that two ways I was surprised. I was surprised I didn't get more sweet potatoes than what I did. Well, three ways. The second one, I only got a couple of really big ones. And third, I was surprised that they went so far down in that can till they was almost at the bottom. It seriously might be some more sweet potatoes at the bottom of it, but since I couldn't pick it up and dump it out, they'll just be down there until I get someone to turn it over and dump it out. Hey, Veggie Farming. Veggie, I love your garden. Did you have sweet potatoes in your garden this year? Ooh, excuse me. Yeah. So, But what I like about Miss Linda's garden, she can garden all year round. And I would love to do that. Oh my goodness. I would be crazy. I'd be like her. I'd be dropping seeds all day long. Like I said, Miss Linda be have a hand out the window in the bed dropping seeds. And I like how she put her little solo cups in different spots. So once they get to a certain size, this is where they're going to go. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. She got it all planned and stuff just growing. I just love to see her plantains and her sorrel. I just love her garden. And I love to see the caterpillars for the, I think it's the monarch butterfly, how they have the little sacks. Yeah. Flowers and ground cherry. That's one thing I want to grow next year is ground cherries. Broke sent me some ground cherries. I think they're Aunt Molly. I want to drop those. He said once you drop ground cherries, you don't never have to drop them again. I don't know if that's feasible up in the north because it gets cold and freezes here. Maybe in the south where the ground doesn't really freeze and what have you. So we're gonna see. We're gonna find out. Yeah, I know it was who was that? Bayou Sugar said that's what she missed about being in Louisiana, that you can grow all year round. Yeah, yeah, that's nice. Where you can do that. We can only eat to a certain point in the season if you haven't done some canning or of some kind where you can preserve your stuff. You literally have to go to the store and buy it. But we got some pretty good winter farmer markets here that I can still get some fresh produce that I know didn't come from a supermarket chain somewhere and enjoy. Yeah. Why are you bugging me? You see I'm on my live. Yeah. So, um, and but that's what I like about going to the farmers market. You get to know the certain booths, and you get to know the farmers. You get to know what they grow. You know which ones are organic. And I have this one guy that I go to his stall, and they have a huge garden across the street from the farmers market, and he has his own little area over there, and he has a wagon attached to his bike, and he will ride over to the lot, get what you want, and bring it back. I did a video on him. That's his name. I think is Adam, and I got a fruit tree from him, and he does fruit tree plant. I said, okay, I'm gonna do Broke's number every time I go through there, and I can get a fruit tree. I'm finna step up my A game on my fruit trees and citrus, and he has some really nice veggies. I did a video and posted it, and I was like, this is the type of collaboration that we need to have, where we don't want to go to the supermarket and get store-bought stuff, but we can find an authentic gardener, a farmer, a nurturer of eating healthy and bringing us food straight to us and from us to our tables. So that's what I like about the farmer markets here. Felicia says it's still in the 80s here. Things are still growing. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to try again in the spring on my collards and cabbage challenge, because here in the cold, if you don't start your brassicas like in April, May or June almost, they're not going to be to a certain size by this time of the year. Excuse me, because it gets cold stuff. So, and I know brassicas like cold weather, but sometimes you like the heat for them to germinate, to get started, and then from there, hopefully that it doesn't raise above the point where they might bolt before they grow to fruition. And then our weather is so tricky here. One minute it's hot. Like I said, we had a couple of days last week that was 72, 75. And then the next day it was like 50 degrees. And then at night it dropped down to 39. You put your plants in the shop. They don't know whether to go into hibernation or keep growing. So yeah, and I'm listening to it outside. It started raining. They said it wasn't gonna rain until tomorrow night. Well, they lied. And then too, weathermen don't know everything. So yeah. Uh, no limes on my lime tree this year. but she doubled in size. Yeah, I have two Meyer lemons. One is huge compared to early part of the year. It's loaded with blossoms. And that's actually the younger tree. The older tree I got, it's gotten huge and it keeps putting out new leaves, but I don't see a bud anywhere. And on the younger one, I've actually had a couple of flowers that have opened, and I see just a little bitty green thing. So I hope that's a lemon. So since I brought them inside, they also in a warmer climate, and I got them under grow light. So hopefully I can get some lemons on the inside. And also I want to get my Miwok kumquat so I don't lose my kumquats because I've worked real hard to get them this far. I was alternating between 511 and Super Juice. Yeah, so I did. I went downstairs one day and I was just like, all right, why are you waiting to the last minute to take care of this? So I cleaned out the whole corner. I set my grow lights up and my table up and my oil pans. I used the oil pans are the best saucers to put up under your plants. Oh my goodness. It saves a lot, so I put them underneath there so even when I water them, the water won't run everywhere. The plant will get a chance to absorb it. And it has a little spout that if I need to tip the oil pan over to pour that extra excess water off, I can do so without having to dip something in it to remove that extra water. So, and I've learned not to overwater in the wintertime. I only water when it starts to look like it wants to droop, then I do so. Yeah, I just turned the lights off on the ones in the basement just before I did my live, so I won't forget to go down. Cause sometimes I don't want to hit them stairs. I got like one, two, three, four flights of stairs to get to the basement. So yeah. So I have a timer. I gotta find it so I can put it on there so I don't have to worry about this come winter time. Pretty girl says I have Satsuma dragging branches on the ground, but no lemons this year. Oh, okay. All right. So it's just gotten big in size, huh? All right. Yeah. Yeah. When we find something good and everybody hear about it, we start rushing to the Dollar Tree or wherever store, and we just about sell out of the stuff. I use those oil pan too. Yeah, I had to go to 4 stores to find some because people was buying them oil pans and they know they wasn't putting up under all these people's cars. And I got about 20 or 30 oil pans, and that might be an underestimate. I got them up under everything, under fruit trees, under berry bushes, under anything that's not buried in the ground. I got them underneath, and it saves the floor, saves a whole lot of water. And when you want to water your plant and don't want the water to just run off, to give your plant a chance to absorb it, they're perfect. Yes, they are. What was this? Oh, Felicia saying, "Hey, everyone, that's not the one I wanted." Crazy growing this year. Some come and some not. Yeah, that's for everybody. Like the man said, in some people's gardens it was hit and miss. I know for one part of the summer we were hearing a lot of folks complain about the vine borer, how it was taking out people's squash. They were even doing videos on how they were slitting the stem on the plants and taking tweezers and pulling the little worms out and burying them in the ground to help them to develop more roots because they actually had fruit on the plant that they didn't want to lose. And they got the vine borer out and was able to save some. Some was a hit and some was a miss. So, but that vine borer was a real thorn in a lot of people's side this summer, and also the tomato hookworm. That bad boy, he is big and he's ugly and he got big old eyes. I've seen him how he was hanging on to the stem of some plants and blending in. You really got to go out there and really be paying attention to them because they got a heck of a camouflage setup. When you start seeing all your tomatoes, tops, and leaves being stripped on, you know he's out there for sure. But to go through your plants and literally find them and pick them off and pull them off, some people didn't like touching them with their hands. Some people didn't like them even when they had gloves on. They was cutting off the whole branch if they could to get rid of them, and they were throwing them. If you had chickens, that was a treat for the chickens. Yeah, that vine board. He was a thorn in a lot of people's side. But that's part of gardening, though. You got your hit and miss. Cause I know the aphids was tearing up my okra one year. They was like, "Woo, I'm not getting any of this." Yeah, for sure. And that's what you have to do, though. Yeah, you have to do it that way. So we don't stop growing because of all of this. We sit here and we listen to each other complain about the pests that we have to deal with. See, y'all normally have insects and worms. I got the big boys. I got deer, groundhogs, raccoons, possum. You know, I haven't had any problems with the two-legged ones, but them four-legged ones, whoo, they get on my nerves. Oh my goodness, it's just hard. And that white butterfly or moth, he's been wreaking havoc on people's brassicas. Once they get in there, if you don't stay on top of them, they will devastate your whole garden. I know PIA, she was trying so hard that at one point she just said, forget it. I just wait till next season. They got up underneath, and you can have netting over them and the whole 9 yards. But if they lay one egg, that's a wrap. It's a wrap. And it's heartbreaking, but hey, it is what it is. You could try to throw some more seeds down and try a whole new crop, or just wait for the next season to pop up. You know, yes, indeed. Right, Sebio. What is a Kryptonia? Oh, I'll do a deep research on the vine board. She got to have a weakness. I ain't mad at you. I understand what you're saying. It's heartbreaking. If I can get these big critters, four-legged critters out my garden, I think I can actually have a nice garden again. I had a nice garden for years. Never had problems with the critters out here. But then the critters started becoming overpopulated, and they started leaving the park because I got a huge park at the end of my street. My street don't go all the way through. It stops because it's a huge park. And it's a nice park too. And when they stopped letting the hunters come in and thin out the herds for deer and other critters, they became overpopulated and coming out of the parks into the neighborhoods and devastating people's gardens. They were chunking down my hostas. They was eating down people's rhododendrons and azaleas and stuff. They were just devastating people's hard work, money, and yards and stuff. So then when they found my garden, they was like, ooh, country buffet. And they came through my garden with a vengeance. They made up for it. And then they've been coming back every year for the past this makes the third year. So I'm constantly fighting because I used to have okra that was 8, 9 feet tall. I had tomatoes that was so heavy on the vines. I had to stake them up with wrought iron, to hold the branches up. I had celery that was coming back every year. I mean, my garden was fantastic. And I have some pictures and maybe one or two old videos that I have showing that. But the last 2, 3 years, please. It almost made me want to stop gardening, but I was like, no, quit talking like that. You'll be all right. Give it a minute. You'll get it together and you'll be able to get out there and find a way to get some of this. And they leave me something, but it's just a corner compared to what I used to grow before. Because I grew for a lot of my elderly friends, older than myself, in their 80s and stuff, and some moms who have kids and stuff, who I'm trying to get the kids to start into growing and eating healthier and stuff. And um, it was a joy to me to be able to share with them. Have shared some of my lemongrass, some of my ginger, my sage, my rosemary. I have shared some stuff that I've had that the animals didn't devastate, but it's not like what I had before. And because they ate all my squash, Oh, my okra. They ate my okra down 2 or 3 times. Every time they let it grow back just enough so they can come back and eat it down again. They ate all my butternut squash, my cucumber vines. They did a job on me this year, and my apples and stuff. So, but you know what? I didn't let that deter me. I know I still have some other stuff that was making it, and I can get to enjoy it. I got a lot of cayenne peppers I got in there drying. I have jalapenos. And y'all seen a couple of my videos I've done on my huge bell peppers and stuff. They didn't mess with any of those stuff, which I'm glad of. And I'm able to take it and dehydrate it and turn it into powders and make seasonings out of it. So I got some. And my lemongrass I can make teas from. I can make teas from the leaves of my ginger and some other stuff. So it wasn't like it was a total loss. So I'm thankful for what I've gotten. And I did have some garlic I harvest. Wasn't very big, but it was still garlic, and I still used it. It wasn't like I threw it away. Some of it I thought it was a little small. I just replanted it, and actually, the old stems have died, and new stems have. I see new sprouts coming up. So yeah, it wasn't a total loss. And my red onions I planted early part of the year. The original ones, the tops died back, but now they've come back with a vengeance. So I'm looking for a nice crop of red onions next year. They don't bother those. They don't bother those, they don't bother the garlic. So some things I'm looking forward to coming back, then other things I'm looking to try new for next year. You are a fig for the first time. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Thank you, Tina. My figs. They didn't mess with my figs, so I got a chance to get to them before they got to them. So, Shakira, where you been, sweetie? Been missing you. Yeah, sweetie, I hadn't seen you for a minute. Are you okay? Yeah. Well, let me tell you what they did one year. Now I had got one of those the white baskets, wire baskets from the Dollar Tree. I was growing Swiss chard. Now I put the basket over the ceiling, and I put the stakes in the ground, and they were 4 inches. I don't know which animal it was, but they kept pulling and pulling and pulling until they pulled the cage off. The stakes were still hanging in the cage, and they ate the Swiss chard. Okay, all right. I'll give you that first time. I went and got some more stakes, 6 inches. Put it back over the Swiss chard because it was starting to grow back. Put them in, came back, and they did it again. At that point, I took the cages off, took the stakes out the ground, pulled the Swiss chart off, and said, no, we're not doing this all summer. Yeah. So, yeah, it was bananas. I couldn't believe they did that. I was like, for real? Ooh, the Japanese beetles was my nemesis this year. Deer took my flowers and rose bushes out. They produced one set of blossoms, but no more. I'm waiting for winter to work on the preventative measures. I am too. And oh, I forgot. Yeah, they did my rose, but I bought a white rose and I put it in a clay pot in the backyard. I nurtured this bad boy and it had the first bud. And I came out the next day and the bud was gone. I was so PO, I did not know what to do. Then I turned around and it started growing back. They let it grow back on a different stem. It blossomed. I took a picture that morning. That afternoon when I came back, it was gone. I was so glad I got a picture of it. Now it's blooming this little heart out. It's got all kinds of white roses on it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But I know most of these animals are already starting to go into hibernation. That's the only reason why my roses are still there on that bush. Now the ones on the side of the house, they didn't never mess with. I have red roses, yellow roses, all colors on the side. They don't mess with those. But my white rose, I don't know if it was tasty or what, but it tore it up. So now it's nice and tall, and those thorns they got really big, and they don't go nowhere near it. And I hope they stay away from it. That's the way I look at it. Like, ooh, give me a break. Can I catch a break some kind of way? But I grew some lemon cucumbers that I never took a video on. And I sliced them, and they were absolutely delicious. First time I ever grown those. And they were I mean, just the slice itself was really refreshing. And I was like, oh, I could put this in my water or just eat them raw like this, or I need to try them in the salad. But they never got that far. I sliced it up at my granddaughter's house and we tore that lemon cucumber up. I said, Dag, I didn't make a video or nothing, but it was really good. So I still have some seeds left and I will be growing some lemon cucumbers. Now they ate that down twice too, but it kept fighting back till it finally came back and I was able to get something from it. So I enjoyed that much. Serena said, I have a habanero, habanero pepper ready to harvest. It's orange. Okay. Just gifted. What's up? How are you, sweetie? Thank you so much. Yeah. Like watching you work out too, putting your stuff together. That's what I'm saying. We got so many gifted people in our community. You kept me company while cooking dinner. Hey, yeah, all y'all do the same thing in the morning. Okay, Renee, when you working out, sometimes I'm actually working out. I have what do you call it? A yoga chair exercise that I'm doing, and I find out I'm a little less stiff. I'm not, as tight, and it's raining outside, so I definitely need to do my exercise before I go to bed. Yeah, lemon cucumbers do produce a lot. They were absolutely delicious. And they were just a little round thing like that. And I was like, oh, this is so cute. Yeah, I like them too. Yeah, I'm going to try more of them next year and in my garden. Mike says I got a couple of leisure peppers left inside, starting more. Um, that just shot past me. I missed that altogether about the habaneros and the jalapenos. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying. I got my little weights over there. I got a set of wristbands. Then I have a 1 pound weight and I have a 2 pound weight. So I'm trying to build up my upper body strength, because sometimes I can't open up jars. I got all kinds of gizmos. And so I got a machine where you can put your jar in and put the top down and it will turn and pop. I was like, yeah, but I should be able to do that with my hands. So I want to build the strength back up and do that too. I'm trying to be as independent as long as possible. Because when you know you can't do for yourself and other folks notice that, then they're like, I'm like, no, I ain't ready to go yet. I had a rocking chair and I got rid of it. Now, just gifted was that you and Crafty Leo when y'all was making those gift baskets with all the Elmo and all that other stuff? What's that LOL and all that other stuff? Yeah, I was looking at my bag of seeds over here, and I was like, I got so much stuff in here that I have yet to try. That's I've seen so many of you guys try it, and I was like, I'm freaked out because I want to try everything, but I got so much competition for the critics, it makes me kind of hold back on what I want to grow. But then I said, well, if I grow too much of this, if they stick with this over here, maybe they'll let this grow over here. So I'm trying to think of ways I can camouflage my garden so I can get more out of it next year. My doctor told me today I need to stop snacking. So on my way home from work, I went and bought chips, Twinkies, and popsicles. Guess I showed him. I wish my doctor would tell me to quit snacking. Right now, I dropped 40 pounds that I wasn't supposed to, wasn't trying. I found out it was a dental issue. I got my dental issue fixed, and now I got to pick up at least 15 of these pounds back. So I'm not a junk food eater, but I am now because I need to pick this up because my clothes is hanging off of me. Had to buy new underwear, pants, tighten up. Had to add belts and stuff I never needed belts for before. Yeah. Oh, y'all want fitness people. I know y'all. Doc crazy. Yeah. I just said, don't laugh at me. You right in there doing it too. Oh, yes, we go live together every Monday. Yeah. Okay. All right. I did. I enjoyed watching y'all trying to put them boxes together and stack stuff and how to wrap it and how to camouflage, standing that stuff up. Oh, I remember them days. I don't do none of that stuff nowadays. Because just about everybody in my family is grown. The only ones that's babies is my great granddaughter at a year old. And half that stuff she's not going to remember. Oh, there go my girl early morning showing us the sunrise, listening to the vultures and stuff in the trees. What's that, Crooked Peach? What's that, girlfriend? I love Crooked Peach. She just cracks me up. Thank you for stopping in to see the sweetie. I really appreciate you. You kind of get my morning started sometimes. Yeah. And that's what I love about our garden community. Everybody has something to offer. Everybody has a way of touching a certain part of you, whether it's to make you smile or to make you laugh or make you think, I could have did that, or ooh, I want to try that, or I didn't know you could do that. You could have how they have those little captions where they have all these question marks around in a halo. It's just amazing. And Crooked Peach said something to me in the chat one day. She's like, Miss Shirley, you didn't know anything about this? Girlfriend, I don't know everything. I don't know a third of some of the stuff that's out here. I just like that there's so many people who have different ways of living. Some of us is on farms. Some of us have an acre. Some has 20 acres. Some have 100 acres. And they work it all different ways and they grow different stuff. And then they show us how that they preserve or how they cook, how they make tinctures or salves and all this good stuff from the stuff that they grow on their properties that I've never been privy to, so to speak. You know, you see a bottle of this on the shelf at the store and say, "Oh," and you stop and you read and you say, "Oh, I could use this. This might help me next time I catch a cold." And then I'll turn on a YouTube channel and somebody's got this. They taking this off the bark of a tree and they cutting this off and grinding this up. And hey, I was watching who is that? Sherry from Black's Tropical making the cough syrup, with the garlic and the honey and all this other stuff. It's so much I don't know. I've never claimed to know everything. There's so much more that I can learn from every age set that's in this garden community. You guys have so much to offer, and you talked to us like parents. You don't scold us, you don't call us stupid, you don't say, "Oh, you've been around long enough, you should know that." Not really, because it's a whole lot of stuff I was never exposed to. But you're kind enough to come back and say, I can show you how to do this. This is what you need to make that. You need this much of that, this and that. And you give me a recipe to make it for myself. But you don't make me feel dumb. You don't make me feel foolish that I don't know these things. And I love our community who are willing to share their knowledge about everything that they make. Like you said, not everybody is gardeners, but they might dabble in it. They might grow a tomato here, a pepper there, or a squash here, or a cucumber there, but they're not 40 acres and a mule type individuals. I was sure you knew all the things, Miss. Oh, shut up. No. Oh, okay. Renee said these white flies over here are thugs. I have been trying everything. They are still all over the place. Now, that's something I have never had problems with. And I never knew what white flies were until I saw a YouTube channel and they were so bad that you could literally see them in the camera. I never knew white flies could get that bad. See, different areas have different problems with insects because certain insects won't survive here because of the cold and the snow, whereas they might be in somebody else's state and they have to deal with this issue every year. Like here, um, they were talking about red ants or hot ants, whatever kind of ants they were, and how they were. Cece was in the garden one day and she was hopping and stuff that the ants was getting all over her, and I was like, I've never had that problem. I never heard of that problem before. So I was just like, okay, everybody got their own nemesis when it comes to creatures, insects, or whatever, pest of whatever kind that you might have to deal with. And it just amazes me how much stuff I learned from all you guys. Honestly, it just amazes me what we can learn from one another if we just listen. It's just like, okay, someone said, "Oh, you're not going to have that problem in your zone because you have ice and snow, whereas we have this pest all year round because we have humidity, we have too much moisture, we have heat, and these particular animals, this is their perfect conditions for them to thrive." So it just kind of blows my mind about certain things that I hear in the chat from all these different folks in these different grow zones in regards to what is their nemesis when it comes to pests in their gardens. Um, like I haven't heard anybody in a long time having problems with nematodes, and here Netta Ness had them in her green stock. It wasn't in the ground, it was in the green stock. And she had to bust that bad boy all the way down to its lowest denomination. And I was like, wow, okay, all right. Mike said, my area is normally easy, but since we're warmer, I now get more bad bugs. Right. The conditions have changed and it has become not only adaptable for those insects, but also they get a chance to move around. They don't have to stay in one vicinities. They can spread out now. Like right now, we had that problem with that lanternfly. Now it's gotten colder. I don't see them nowhere. They're nowhere to be seen. So they must came from a tropical area, and they don't like the cold because they have disappeared. I haven't seen not a one in the last couple of weeks. Even though we had a few warm days, but as soon as the temperature started dropping, boom, they disappeared. Oh yeah, it's a climate change. Look what they did with the rainforest. Is there a rainforest anymore? It changed a whole lot of stuff. Those trees did not only provide medicine and rare plants and stuff for other medical research and stuff, they were filtering the air. They were changing the flow of the air for warm and what have you. So once they started cutting down trees and all these areas and stuff, not only that, you started having more flooding because the roots of the trees was holding the soil intact. They don't know that they have done more harm than they have good than adding all these new what they call it, resorts. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember when the grasshoppers were, oh wow, they were detrimental to people's gardens. Grasshoppers were my nemesis, and my squirrels ate them for me this year. Too bad they didn't like squash bugs. Hey, some beat none. You got some out of it. K. Renee said, yes, Mike, the grasshoppers have been hopping here as well. Never had that issue before. I've seen a few here. I haven't seen a lot, but I saw a few every time I hit tall grass. They got the popping out. Year before last, no, it was last year. I had problems with praying mantis, and they not a problem per se because they were eating the aphids and some other stuff, but sometimes I didn't see them because they blended in, and I have been bit and scratched by them where I went to reach into some. I'm like, oh, what the crap was that? And then I stood there and looked, and I was like, oh shoot, those are praying mantis. I didn't shoo them. I walked away, but then I didn't see any of them this year. So each year they seem like certain pests or even beneficial insects, they rotate. They don't come back the same every year. Because I used to have hordes of ladybugs that used to keep the aphids off my roses and stuff. I didn't see not one ladybug this year. None. Not a one, which I thought was kind of rare. So yeah. So it depends. It depends. What's the time? This thing don't keep the time. Oh, it's 9:15. All right, y'all. I'm finna leave out of here because y'all didn't went on over to Odom side and checking out on him. So I'm gonna say good night, Crooked Peach. Good night, K Renee. Good night, Serena. Good night, Mike. Good night, everybody who came over to me this evening. Thank you that you showed me love just a little bit. This is Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner says, I love you all. So I always say, y'all come back now. You hear? And going over to Odom and give him a holler and get it off your chest. Bye.